walking up and making connections because you can, even though you're told you can.
Okay.
It's like you have to have a reason to do so.
So there's constraints of purpose and reason and maybe even limitation because you can only be in one place at a time.
Yeah.
So those constraints kind of form reality.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make it unreal? Like, are the things that unfold even with those constraints, do they still have some reality outside of you? Like the people that you talk to, even though you can't talk to 10 people at once, although we might try here. But like, is there some reality there in the relationship you have to that other person, or is it all just sort of arbitrary, like the universe just talking to itself or something?
I don't know. I guess.
Do you want me to
Yeah,
switch
go
out?
for
I feel like I'm kind of like the same opinion. However, I feel like it's not just like we make it up to then make a connection.
Okay.
I feel like there are connections with each other that we do not realize that are there, that are like a set bound reality. Like
Okay.
in terms, we're all students. You know,
Yes.
some of us share the same classes, the same buildings.
Okay.
Or like sometimes you just go up to people. Like we literally
Yeah.
just cleaned up like a bottle and then we just started connecting to people. Like sometimes there's just like
Yeah.
that built reality of use like there's no rhyme or reason, you just do it.
Yeah. So there is a sort of identity that you share with others that like is higher than just the individual. Like everyone here is a student.
Yeah.
Well, most people here. And so there's a sort of higher identity that creates a unity that is above more than one individual. And so there's something about that that's real, would you say? Like it's not just arbitrary?
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
you have to like. It's kind of like being in a class. Everybody chose to be in the class, so they
Yeah.
must have had some sort of interest in it. So you all share the same sort of like interest.
Okay.
I never know.
Okay, yeah. So there's something real. So how do we how do we interact with those structures that have reality with like the empirical method? Because it seems like the empirical method just focuses on material, focuses on demonstration. Like how do we categorize or understand those things if we can't observe them physically? Because we can't really observe like the concept of being a student and the unity that creates among other students in like a lab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do we observe and categorize those things without using science?
I suppose it's just like experiencing, trying to build an understanding.
Okay.
From like the inside out.
Okay. Fair enough. So there's something about experience that's real, right? That science can't like analyze. Is that what I'm hearing, or would you say if we do enough psychology research, for example, or neuroscience research, we could analyze experience scientifically?
I think you can try, but there's not like you can create a definite answer because everybody experiences everything differently.
Okay.
Like 7 billion people experience today
Yeah.
completely different, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So there's this like intractable difference of experience that makes it impossible to put in like one hand, like to have like, okay, this is what experience is, because everyone has a different one.
Yep.
Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is there anything that unifies everyone's experience that maybe everyone experiences similarly? Or is there, like how do we figure that out?
So it's like socially, like you can observe in which humans like interact and like connect with each other. Like that's something you can like, you can, in theory, you can put like in a lab or like a psychological like analysis kind of way, like you can like do like a test on that. But I feel like a unified experience of like what we all experience is like an example like graduations.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all as one class, as like one big group of like that unified like students,
Yeah.
go through the gates of like that social construct, or not like social construct, but like that like literal like academic, you did everything, good job.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
social, I'm a senior, and like the personal.
There's like a ritual. Like everyone
Yeah,
wears
there's like
these
a
weird
ritual.
things.
There we go. That's
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah. Like everyone
and,
wears
like,
their uniform.
Yeah.
But everybody
Yeah.
still sees it differently.
But it's like it's still like like one of those experiences that we all have, but it's all
Yeah.
like different to each person. Like one person can be like, God, graduation sucked, and then the other person can be like, oh my God, best day
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah.
But everyone sort of did the same things.
Yeah, it's like what I'm trying to like say, I guess.
Okay. So is there something almost embodied about us that when we do things together, there's like that's when the higher order is created? Like we're all doing similar things right now. Like everyone's going to classes, everyone's typing stuff usually.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
is that really what it comes down to?
I think like a little bit.
Or am I like definitely correct the question if there's something wrong about the question itself?
I'm trying to think, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Like off the fly thinking is, oh God, I'm not
It's
gonna.
difficult to like. It's difficult to put into terms how, like, we all interact or how we all end
Yeah.
up here, basically.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but maybe there's something ritualized that unifies us, that binds us together, right? As to where we can have real relationships and real conversations with other people. And maybe even at the highest order, do you think like our humanity itself allows us to have real relationships with other people? Like there's something unifying about everyone because we're all human beings.
Yeah.
Like even if you talk to someone in Ghana who's never seen a college before, you know? Or they probably have colleges in Ghana here and there.
I think there is a connection. Like
Yeah.
I think no matter what, I think like I don't know, like what's like the thing where it's like, oh, we're built to be like social people or social creatures.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I kind of think back to that a lot because it's like I feel like we wouldn't have what we have without being that like social or like have that connection to each other. Like I feel
Okay.
like we wouldn't have this campus if we weren't in a way like connected from like teacher to student or like student to student, like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
it's like
And
I think we just all have like a connection in some way, shape, or form. It's just having the ability to find it and like build off of that.
yeah, finding the
It's like-
connections.
it's different.
Especially when you don't speak the same language.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
There's definite barriers, but you find a way to connect, I think.
Okay. And can you understand that human connection like at the broadest level in like scientific terms? And you guys can leave if you want after this question, like if you guys are all done.
Wait, repeat the question. Sorry, I need to like rethink it.
Well, I was just trying to like after we've gotten to this place where there's maybe like this higher order human connection, like is that something we can understand in scientific terms, or will it forever evade those sort of tools?
We can always try.
We can always try.
Okay.
I feel like maybe there's a scientific term out there that like we just haven't
Discovered.
Okay.
discovered.
Fair
But
enough.
I think I'm not so excited.
Okay. Are you guys all done, or do you want to keep?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Okay.
we're
Gotta
gonna
get to
head out.
class.
Fair enough. Well, did you enjoy just like thinking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was so fun.
All right, cool.